Wait, why can't we do it if it's still Pesach?
Because you only do Pesach services on Pesach.
Okay, great answer. Okay. When we're in a festival time, the tradition says that there's so much joy and happiness by being in the festival time that we don't have to add even more by doing Kabbalat Shabbat. So the tradition says that during our special festival times, we're not really going to be doing most of Kabbalat Shabbat. So we're going to be doing, instead of Kabbalat Shabbat, tonight, because it is Pesach, we're going to be doing some Pesach songs. So we're welcoming each and every one of you. One of the things I want to also let you know is that at the very end of the service, you are going to receive your Siddur, and you should know that there's a group of people that bought these Siddurim for you, and two of the guys who are responsible for you getting your Siddur are in this room tonight. There's a guy over there wearing a tie on my left named Art Lashin, and he is the president of our men's club. And Elliot Miller, what's your official position? Past president of the men's club and official Siddur giver greeter person from the men's club. So these two guys, what they do is they do a lot of mitzvot for the congregation and for the Jewish community. And one of the mitzvot that they've done is they feel like it's important for you to have a Siddur to be able to practice from for getting ready for becoming bar mitzvah. And these are the guys that made it happen for you. And you're going to be receiving their Siddur. And most of you, hopefully, have all had a chance to decorate the cover that's going to be on your Siddur that you're going to be using. So that's what we're here to do. And it happens to be Passover. Who knows when Passover ends?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. At what time?
Sundown.
Sundown tomorrow, 8:30.
Whatever dinner time is.
Well, all right. So if you have your pre-ordered DoorDash or Uber Eats pizza delivery scheduled, it might be coming at about 8:27 p.m.
When does that have anything to do with
Passover?
Passover?
We're talking about when Passover ends. All right. So now I'm going to ask the Cantor since we're not doing Kabbalat Shabbat tonight because it's Pesach, we're going to do a few Passover songs. So you were handed a song sheet by Cantor Agar. And by the way, we are really, really lucky that we have two wonderful women. We have Lisa and Tass, who are here, who are going to be playing some guitar and helping us to create really nice music to sing to. All right, so Cantor, I'm turning it over to you. We're going to do a couple of Passover songs.
All right, let's sing together. The first song is Dayenu. אילו הוציאנו ממצרים, הוציאנו ממצרים, דיינו, 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 אילו נתן לנו את השבת, נתן לנו את השבת, דיינו, 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 אילו נתן לנו את התורה, נתן לנו את התורה, דיינו, 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 דיינו,
So I have a question for our Kabbalat Siddur people. Just why do you think that we have a holiday that's really about remembering that we were slaves a long time ago? Wouldn't most people want to forget that? Being a slave was awful. Anyone who was a slave has to work all the time, doesn't have freedom. And yet here we are, we Jewish people. We have this 8-day festival, and we're trying to remember what it was like to be slaves in Egypt. Instead of, most people would be like, we want to forget what it was like to be slaves in Egypt, wouldn't we? It was hard, it was terrible. So why do you think that why might we want to remember as opposed to forget? It's a tough question. I don't really have an answer. But maybe Hope, you might have an answer for me.
Well, because we not only we were slaves in Egypt, but we also got free. So what's the point of the song? We were free, then why are we going to be free? We also have to remember
Oh, did everyone hear what Hope said? It might not have been
I can't
deep,
get
but
the
if you're
video.
watching on the Zoom, Hope sort of asked me a question in response to my question, which was, well, why would we not want to remember that we became a free people? Which is also, and maybe even more importantly, what Passover celebrates, right? That we were, at one time, slaves, but what Passover celebrates is that we became a free people, right? And part of what the tradition says, and I'm hearing a little echo reverb, is that me being too close to another phone? Part of what our tradition says is that in order for us to be people who feel, this is a big
Use
word,
this box.
who feel empathy or who feel compassion,
You just stand them up and stuff
when
in
they're hurting or they're suffering,
packing or something.
Yeah, okay.
we have to remember that there was a time when we were hurting and we were suffering, and when we're able to do that, then we're able to be more kind and compassionate to other people when they're
Well,
suffering.
now I have video.
And, as Hope was just saying, when we remember that once we were slaves, but then we became free, we never should try, we always must try to remember what a gift it is to be free people. Because there are a lot of people in the world who do not live in places where they're free. So we're very fortunate, we in the United States, so far. We're very fortunate that we live in a place where we can be free, where if you want to be Jewish and be proudly a Jew, celebrating Jewish holidays, you can do that. There were lots of times in history where Jews couldn't celebrate being Jewish and celebrate Jewish holidays because they weren't free. So that's part of why we remember that we should never take being free for granted, and we should remember that lots of times there are people who are suffering and who are hurting, and we remember that we can help people who are suffering because we know what it was like. So that's all as a way of saying this next song that we're going to sing, the Cantor is going to sing, it's called Avadim Hayinu. It says, Avadim Hayinu, we were slaves. And it says then, Ata b'nei chorin. Now, some of you may know that sometimes Ata spelled with an aleph means you. But this is not the Ata that's spelled with an aleph. This is an Ata that's spelled with an ayin, which means something different. It means now. So, Avadim Hayinu, we were slaves. Ata, now. B'nei chorin, we are free. All right, so let's sing that with the Cantor. Here we go.
עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורין, עבדים היינו, אתה בני הורים, עבדים היינו, אתה בני הורים, עבדים היינו,
Careful local athletes hope to have their name called.
Passover
One of them,
song.
the running back, comes by name.
What a beautiful day, bright sun.
This is a song about how great God is. I think I might have done them in the wrong order that our guitarists were having it set up, so I apologize. I sometimes get a little disorderly in all of these Siddur and Seder and order times.
Adirhu, Ivnei Beto Bekarov, Mimera, Eyameinu Bekarov, El Bnei, Bnei Bekarov, Bachurhu, Gadolhu, Dagulhu, Ivnei Beto Bekarov, Mimera, Eyameinu Bekarov, El Bnei, Bnei Bekarov.
So in the course of our doing this service tonight, all of our Kabbalat Siddur students, humans, people, children of yours, are going to actually have a chance to talk about why being Jewish is special to them. And so we're going to be doing it in smaller groups. Our first group is going to consist of Mila, followed by Bradley, followed by Gideon, followed by Hope, who are all sitting here. And they're going to all, at this time of the service, they're going to come up. Mila, you're first, so you're going to put your sheet, remember you're going to put your sheet on the stand over here. And come on up. And you're going to stand on this first step. I think we decided that's a good place. Put that on the stand. And then, Brad, you guys can come up and stand so that you're ready to go right after Mila finishes. Okay? All right, Mila, it's all yours.
One reason is learning Hebrew. Learning Hebrew helps me communicate with other Jews and read the Torah. Reading the Torah in Hebrew teaches us how God wants us to live in the world. Another reason is that going to synagogue on Shabbat gives me time to be with my family and friends.
Thank you, Mila. That's good. You're going to take yours and move a little bit to your left, and then Bradley, you're next.
Being Jewish means being special, celebrating Hanukkah, spending time with friends and family, challah and grape juice, matzah pizza, and matzah bread. That's what being Jewish means to me.
Excellent. Okay. Gideon.
I think it's special that I have a Hebrew name Gideon that means warrior because I feel like it helps me feel strong. I feel thankful that I get to go to Purim and that I celebrate my favorite holidays, Hanukkah, Pesach, and Purim. I love Torah stories, going to synagogue, and most of all celebrating Shabbat at home with my mom, dad, and brothers.
Thank you, Gideon. And Hope is you're next from our first group.
I'm grateful for being a part of this special community. It's a rare and small group. So many times in our history, our small group is almost eliminated. We have a unique Jewish culture and traditions, and I feel lucky and important that I get to be Jewish.
I want to thank Mila and Bradley and Gideon and Hope for those beautiful, beautiful words of why being Jewish is so important. You guys can go back to your seats, and we're going to have more of our students. And it's all really well organized here. I want to thank, by the way, I want to thank Julie Atchik and Jan Nussbaum for working so hard to help make our Kabbalat Siddur so wonderful. So we're going to, for those of you who are sitting in your seats, we are going to actually use our Siddurim right now. And we're going to invite you to, if you look in between the armrests of your chairs, you should be able to find your Siddur. Guys, you're going to get your Siddurim a little bit later in the service, but for right now you can use the congregation Siddurim, and everyone can open up. So there's a special psalm that we say, which is called the Psalm for Shabbat, Psalm 92. And if you open to page 23 in your Siddur, you will see that there is this beautiful psalm that talks about how wonderful Shabbat is. And the last 4 lines in the Hebrew are what we're going to be singing, correct, Chazan? The last 4 lines, Sadiq Katamar, which means that when we do the right things, the world flourishes like trees in bloom. That's what happens when we do the right thing. That's what this psalm ends with. So 4 lines from the bottom of page 23, we're going to sing Sadiq Katamar.
Sadiq Katamar Yifra Kezebalvanon Ishtiga Shetulim Bebeit Adonai Behaslot Eloheinu Yafrihu Odinun Eseva Desheni Erananim Eyo Lehanid Ki Yashar Adonai Tsuri Tsuri Velo Avlata Bo.
Now, I think a lot of you know that when we come to the end of sections of a service, we often say something called the Kaddish. And there's a special prayer that we say for people who are remembering loved ones in their lives who either passed away recently or that this week might be the anniversary of their loved one's death. And that prayer is called the Mourner's Kaddish. So I'm going to invite anyone in the room who might be remembering someone who's really special in their lives to stand if you are able to stand. And there are some people who are watching on Zoom who might be saying Kaddish. And to join with me, Mourner's Kaddish on page 24. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayechon v'yomechon. Uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'lizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabba v'vorach li'olam amen. Amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. So now we're going to have a next group of some of our students come up and share. And these are going to be some of our 4th grade students. So I'm going to ask Serena. There are going to be 4 of you. Just Serena, Benji, Shira, and Jacob. Can I have the 4 of you come up and take your sheets with you? And we're going to have you guys stand in the order that you're going to be doing. Oh, Jacob, can you lift the mic a little bit for Serena? It's a little low for her. Jacob, thank you for helping. I said we needed to raise it a little bit. Okay. All right, Serena.
Being Jewish is important to me because I am lucky to celebrate holidays that have such amazing stories where Jews helped others. I also enjoy spending the holidays with my family.
Thank you. Okay, Benji, you're next.
Being Jewish means being part of one community, is being part of one nation across the world. Being Jewish is my world. I go to a Jewish school and learn about my history and the history of our people. Being Jewish means knowing my history and doing mitzvot. It means that I can talk to Hashem when I need to and that I believe in one God.
Thank you, Benji. All right, Shira.
Having Shabbat with my family, spending holidays like Passover with my family that lives far away, like Canada and Israel, going to Camp Ramah, which is my favorite thing to do over the summer.
Thank you, Shira. And Jacob.
Religion is part of culture. It helps us understand who we are and why we are here and how we should live our lives. Being Jewish is special to me because when I study it, it helps me understand myself. It also helps me, like my parents, help me to make good choices.
We want to thank Serena and Benji and Shira and Jacob for those really wonderful words. So now we're going to invite everyone to go back to, we're going to now go into the second of the two services that we usually do on Shabbat evening. We did this super short Kabbalat Shabbat, which really was just the psalm for Shabbat and Kaddish, and now we're starting the evening service, Mariv. And so we're going to ask everyone who feels able to stand, for whom it's comfortable, to take your Siddur, open to page 28, and we're going to face the Aron and do Baruch Hu together on page 28. The Cantor is going to start, and we're going to respond, okay?
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamorach.
Baruch Adonai Mavarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mavarach Le'olam Va'ed.
We're going to invite you to be seated, and we're going to learn a new melody about what this bracha of Mariv Aravim. It's about the way in which the night turns into day and day turns into night because God created the world in a way that we know that there is an order to nature. Ma'ariv Aravim, page 28.
All right, so let's learn to sing this. This is going to be half in English and half in Hebrew. So it's B minor. So I'll sing, and you guys repeat after me. Roll into dark. Roll into light. Night becomes day. And day turns to night.
Day turns to night.
Good, let's try it together. Ready? Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Now let's learn the next part. The Hebrew is like this. Borei yom v'layla. Let's try it. Borei yom v'layla. Next part. Golel or mipnei choshech. Golel or mipnei choshech. Next part. Golel or mipnei choshech. Golel or mipnei choshech. Last part. V'choshech mipnei or. V'choshech mipnei or. Let's try the whole thing together. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Light becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech. וחושך מפני אור. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. ומעבר יום ובין לילה, ומבין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו לחי וקיים, ומלכנו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב והרביב.
We're going to sing Ahavat Olam together on page 29 of your Siddur.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ויורך ימינו, ובהם נגל יומם בלילה, יומם בלילה. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We're going to join and sing together on page 30, the Shema, as we cover our eyes and remember that there is one God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto
We're going
L'Olam
to join together and sing V'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
And we're going to have some time for our quiet prayer for just a few seconds before we continue on page 31.
והיה משמעות תשמעו מצוותיי שם. תוריה אליו וכן אנשיכם. אשר נשבענו לאבותיכם לתת להם כימי השמיים על הארץ. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריכם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So now we're going to ask Michaela and Eli and Noah and Max to leave their Siddurim on their chairs, but to bring their sheets up with them, because the four of you are going to be our next sharers of why being Jewish is so special to you. So Michaela, you're going to put your sheet on the stand and stand in front of the mic. How's that height? Good? Yeah, stand close to the mic so everyone can hear you.
Being Jewish is special to me because we celebrate holidays other people don't, and we have fun singing songs. I also love Shabbat because we say prayers and have an amazing Shabbat dinner.
Great. Thanks, Michaela. All right, Eli.
Being Jewish is special to me because I enjoy spending time with my family during the holidays and being with the community at shul.
Thank you, Eli. Noah?
I will get to have a bar mitzvah in a few years. We celebrate the Jewish holidays with our family. I pray at school on Thursdays with our rabbi.
Thank you. And Max?
We make up such a small percentage in this world. We were one of the first religions with one God, and many groups were trying to kill us, but we persevered and survived. It is important to me that to keep Judaism going since there are barely any of us, and I'm proud to be Jewish.
All right. We want to say thank you to Michaela and Eli and Noah and Max. All right. So we're going to go back to our Siddurim, and we are turning ahead now to page 32 as we get ready. Do you know what, by the way, do you know what? Oh, this, if anyone knows the answer to this question, I'll be impressed. All right. So who knows? Today was the 7th day of Passover, and it's a Yom Tov day. It's a festival day, and we had a special reading from the Torah that we do on the 7th day of Passover. Does anyone who was not at synagogue this morning have any idea what we read from the Torah on the 7th day of Passover? First of all, any of our kids have any guess about what part of the Torah we might read on the 7th day of Passover? It's a really tough question. Avi Minlin for what did we read this morning? Shirat Hayam, the crossing of the sea. Ding, 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 ding. Our Jeopardy champion.
We're not playing Jeopardy.
So we read the crossing, that we crossed the sea. And the part of the service we're doing right now is in the same part of the Torah. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. God, who is like you? You took us out of the land of Egypt. We got here, there was a big and mighty sea, but you helped us get to the other side. That's exactly what we're going to be singing in this part of the service. What a coincidence. All right, Chazan, here we go.
I want to hear you guys nice and loud. Ready? La 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 la. La 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 la. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot oseh eleh, Torah tehilot oseh eleh. Malevotecha לפניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי אנו ויאמרו, זה לי אנו ויאמרו, אדוני לא לעולם האל, אדוני לא לעולם האל. לה 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 לה. ונאמר לפני כה גדול מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Turn ahead to page 33 with us, and we're going to sing Hashkiveno, those beautiful words in which we ask God to make the world safe and to help us to be safe and protected in a world that's at peace. Page 33.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום, מידע ויד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני הפרוס הקדוש מלא מכל ישראל ועל ירושלים.
We're going to now, before we sing, I just want to say that one of the greatest gifts that the Jewish people gave to the entire world is the gift of Shabbat. And when you guys get older, you will appreciate it more than you do now, I can promise you. Because Shabbat is a time for doing the things that really matter in life. Like spending time with your family and thinking about what's important and being part of a community and stopping. Because you guys are growing up in a world where things don't stop very much. There's always someone who, when you get your phones, is going to want to text you and chat with you and talk to you. And there's just so many things that we're going to want your attention. And you're going to get tired from all of that. And you're going to say, oh, I remember being Jewish gave me a gift. Being part of the Jewish people, there's a time to stop. There's a time to just think about what really matters and to be with my family and my friends and to eat good food, come to synagogue, think about what we can do to make the world a better place. We have one day a week where we get a chance to stop. And that's a really important thing. So right now, you might not really appreciate it, but if you trust me, when you get to be your parents' age and you say, do you ever stop for just a little bit? And you'll say, yeah, we really need to stop. That's what Shabbat is. It's the time to just stop a little bit and remember how lucky we are for what we have. So we're going to sing Vishamru on page 34 and remember that Shabbat is a gift.
Let's sing together. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינחש, שבת וינחש, שבת וינחש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
All right, before we continue with a little bit of some quiet prayer, we're going to have four more voices that we're going to listen to about what being part of the Jewish people means to them. So we're going to ask Natalie and Olivia and Ariana and Adina to come with their sheets in your hands and to come and I think, Natalie, you're going to be first. Come on up this way. Put your sheet on the stand.
Oh, that's a new microphone.
That's all right. Okay, and Olivia, you're going to be next. All right, so we might need to raise it a little bit. Natalie, put your sheet on the stand just so you can see. All
I
right.
can see a little bit bigger. Sorry, it's my bad. I feel special about being Jewish because I like to celebrate Jewish holidays.
Thank you, Natalie. Olivia, you're next.
What's special to me about being Jewish is celebrating holidays consisting of Shabbat, Passover, Hanukkah, and many others with my family. From making the meals to saying prayers, it holds a special place in my heart. That's what's important to me about being Jewish.
Thank you, Olivia. Ariana?
This is something I think about a lot. After working on this for a while, these are the things that are most important to me about being Jewish. I get to grow up in a great community where I meet new people and make lifelong friendships. Because only 0.19% of the world is Jewish, I'm the only Jewish person in my class. I enjoy this though because I get to share my heritage and Jewish stories with them.
Thank you, Ariana and Adina.
I'm different from most of the people in my class. I get to dress up for 2 holidays instead of 1, Halloween and Purim. My friends and I get to talk about prayers and our bat mitzvah at lunchtime.
Thank you, Adina. So we want to thank all 4 of you for those really wonderful words. So we're going back to our Siddur, and we're inviting you to turn to page 34. Now, here's an interesting thing. So tonight is both Passover, the festival of Passover, and it is Shabbat. So we do a special Amidah that's for the festival day, and we also include special Shabbat prayers too. So we're going to continue on page 34. We're going to ask you to stand if you're able. The Chatzi Kaddish is next. And then for those of you who want to take some of the quiet time to pray the prayer, yeah. We're going to actually, before again, I'm a little bit out of order today. We're going to say Vayidaber Moshe, the second sentence on the second paragraph, page 34, and then we're going to go into the Chatzi Kaddish, and then when we do the Amidah, page 41 to 44.
Vayidaber Moshe et moadei Adonai el bnei Yisrael. יתקלל ויתקדש שמי רבה ביעלמה דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בך יחוד וביום אחד ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן ישמע רבה מבורך לעולם עולם מעמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי די קודשה בריחו לעילה מן הכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ביעלמה ויאמרו אמן.
And I encourage you to use this time of quiet to just say the prayer that's in your heart. So if you've come to the end of your prayer, you can be seated. We're going to sing Oseh Shalom as we conclude the Amidah.
Oseh Shalom bimromah Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ויאמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, Shalom Aleinu, Yal Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yal Kol Yisrael, V'yimaru, Amen.
Well, guys, I believe it's time for our next speaking slot. So we're going to ask Jean, and we are going to ask, we have two Ashers here, but we're going to ask Jean and then Asher Silversmith. We're going to ask Shane Wilner. We're going to ask Joe Chaikin, and we're going to ask Asher Wrigley to come up and to bring your sheets with you, if you would. And in the order you guys were sitting, if you would begin. Now, I want to let you know that Gene has a very good sense of humor, and he was actually going to sing his statement. He actually wanted to sing his statement, but I said that it would really be more effective and more powerful if he read his statement. So I think he's going to actually, he's going to read it. Okay, Gene, on the stand, on the music stand. Gene, put your sheet on the stand for me. All right, let's read that, okay?
Being Jewish is special to me because I get to spend time with my family celebrating Jewish holidays.
Excellent. Asher, you're...
What is special to me about being Jewish is that Judaism has been around for a very long time. Even though there aren't many Jewish people in the world that are Jewish, it makes me unique and special to be Jewish.
Thank you, Asher. All right, Shane.
What is special to me about being Jewish? For me, it is about the people. Everyone is so nice, giving, and helpful. Being Jewish means that I am part of a larger community. That is amazing.
Thank you, Shane. All right, Asher Wrigley.
I think it's special that I have Hebrew name Asher. That means happy and blessed. It makes me feel like I deserve to be born. I love matzo ball soup, the egg saltwater mixture at Pesach, and gefilte fish. I love going to prom and volunteering at JRA, celebrating Hanukkah and Pesach, and being part of a small group of special people. I feel close to Hashem, who hears my wishes.
Thank you, Asher. And last but certainly not least, Joe.
Alex.
Right, let's put that bike up a little bit.
To me, it is special to be able to carry on the legacy of my ancestors. What I mean by that is the Jewish chain in my family has been going on for thousands of years. So to be the broken link in that chain would not be right.
All right, we want to thank these gentlemen for these really beautiful thoughts. Thank you so much. We're going to invite you to go back to your seats. We've heard some incredibly inspiring words tonight from the future of the Jewish people. I think we would all agree that it's been a wonderful gift to hear from all of you. We're going to go back to our Siddurim and invite you to rise if you are able. We're going to continue on page 51 with Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'atei gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Shemo, Shemo Echad.
Everyone who is not saying Kaddish should be seated. And for those of you who are remembering a loved one in your lives, please remain standing and join with me on page 52 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. B'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam omei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
Amen.
We ask God, who brings peace and comfort on high, to bring peace and comfort to all of you who are remembering your loved ones. Now, it used to be it was a tradition that we would do Kabbalat Siddur when our kids first started coming twice a week if they were in our religious school, and they would be learning to decode Hebrew, and we would sort of do the Aleph Bet song. And we still love hearing that song. So that's actually what, even though all of your children know the Aleph Bet already, it's a great thing to hear. So that's going to happen in just a minute. I want to just say that we hope that many of you who RSVP'd will be joining us for dinner. Because of how beautiful it is outside, we're going to be eating outside in our atrium or courtyard or whatever you call that space. But I do want to let parents know in particular, our friends at Kol Ami are having their Friday night service in the Bornstein Auditorium, which is once you come in from the atrium, that's the room the Bornstein is the one that is right next to that atrium. So we want to just ask, and I would ask our kids to know that if you leave the atrium, we really expect you just to very quietly maybe go to the bathroom or whatever you need to do, but to be really respectful of the fact that there's another congregation that's having their Shabbat, and we want to actually be really careful not to be too loud and disturb their Shabbat. So we're really hoping you'll remember that, and we'll have lots of fun being together in the atrium in the courtyard together for our dinner. So that's going to happen after we leave. Also, we're going to let you know that tomorrow morning is the last day of Pesach. Services are in this room at 9:30 a.m. For those of you who have loved ones to remember, it's also the time to say the special Yizkor prayers, so that'll be part of services tomorrow. And then we said that about 8:27, your deliveries of pizza should be arriving. And Passover is officially over. And we have lots and lots of wonderful things happening. Agar is back on Sunday, and all kinds of great, great things happening. So your parents will check the Beth Sholom email that comes on Sunday mornings. I'm not going to go any more announcements. Guys, remember how we practiced where you're going to put your Siddurim right in between the armrests again, because we don't want you to have to hold them. But we want you to, the Cantor is going to be standing over here, and you're going to put your seats up and turn towards the back of the room where your parents are, adoringly waiting to see your faces. And remember, so the way we're going to do the Aleph Bet song is that first the Cantor is going to lead, and we're going to respond, and then the second time through, you're going to lead, and then we're going to respond to you. So everyone should stand up who are our kids, just our kids, and put your seats up and face the back of the room. And take a look. All right. So is everyone ready? Looking at Chazan? Here we go. Aleph, Bet, Vet. Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet. Yud Kaf Chaf, Lamed Mem Nun, Samech Ayin Pei Pei, Sadi Kuf Resh, Shin Sin Taf. Now you guys are leading us. Aleph Bet Bet. Gimel Dalet Hey. Vav Zayin Tet Tet. Yud Kaf Chaf. Lamed Mem Nun. Samech Ayin Pei Pei. Tzadi Kuf Resh. Shin Sin Taf. All right. All right, guys, go back to your seats for 1 second. We're going to call up Jan and Julie, Art and Elliot, or Elliot. Remember, we're going to hand out your Siddurim, and many of you decorated the covers, and these same Siddurim you're going to use when you become bar or bat mitzvah. So we're going to invite everyone to come up and get their Siddur one at a time. I think that would be nice, kind of like a way to end. All right, and once you get your Siddur, you'll come up and you'll go back to your seat. So, Mila, you are our first Siddur recipient. Yes. And Bradley, you are our next Siddur recipient. All right. And Gideon, you are our next Siddur recipient. I'm just making sure these are in the right order, even though they're so well done here. And Hope, you are the person, you are the next. Recipient means one who receives. So you're receiving as a recipient. All right, so let's see. Serena, you are our next Siddur. You are mekabeleting at your Siddur. All right, and now this is not in the exact order you're sitting in, but Shira, you are the next Siddur recipient. All right, Tali is not here, so we're going to put that over here. And Benji, you are next. You are our next recipient of your Siddur. And by the way, some of the adults might want to take a look at these covers because each of these artists created their covers. Jacob, you are next. Jacob, you want to come and get this? All right, thank you. The next one I have is for Eli. Again, not exactly in the same order. Do 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 do. You do do do. You do 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 do. Michaela, you're the next one. No, you can go the other direction because it's probably easier. Noah gets his Siddur. All right, and Max, you can follow Noah because you're next. Max is the last fourth grader. Wait, is this one without a Siddur cover? Okay, Olivia. Olivia, your Siddur, you're gonna make a cover for it. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Oh, Joe, now you're in, see, this is alphabetical order. Joe, you're the next I got. And then Natalie, you are next. There's some really beautiful covers here. I think people should really... All right, after Natalie, we have Ariana. Go. Here you are. Some of these are... And after Ariana, we have Adina. Jean, you're going to follow Adina, so if you want to start to make your way out, you may. Very nice. Asher Silversmith, this is one that you will also be making a cover for. And following Asher, Shane, you are coming up after Asher. Here you are. And last, but certainly not least, Asher Wrigley for the final Siddur. We want to thank our men's club for providing all of your children who received a Siddur with their Siddurim. And the one thing we want to say is that what you get to do when you're a member of the men's club at Beth Sholom is you get to be mitzvah machines. These guys do unbelievable numbers of mitzvot for our community. So we thank you for making this possible for our kids. Okay, Jan, is it time to say Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach and move? Oh, and also, yes, we thanked at the beginning, but it's never too... We always should thank more than once. We want to thank our sisterhood women for providing the kippot that you are wearing tonight as well. Thank you to the sisterhood as well. Thank you to Lisa and Tess for bringing music with us tonight. And we're looking forward to seeing all of you who've RSVP'd out in the atrium or courtyard or whatever that outdoor-indoor space you refer to at Beth Sholom is. Shabbat Shalom, and thanks for being with us tonight on Zoom and in person.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.